Each month I'll sit down with the incredible people who make up our community. From athletes and patients pushing their limits to professional partners and others that share our vision. Here at Change Game, we believe in the power of community, the strength that comes from teamwork, and the importance of being a true game changer in everything we do. That's what this series is all about, celebrating those values. We're excited to bring you along, so let's get started. Hey guys, Dr. Ryan Godfrey here with Change Game Performance, and on this installment of Reps with Ryan, we're going to be interviewing Dr. Rizzo here with North Brunswick Chiropractic. His office is in Leland, North Carolina, so we're going to jump into it, give you a little bit of background on him, and then we're going to get our workout in. ACL rehab. How did the injury happen, first of all?
42 years old, I think I'm 25.
Yeah.
I'm there. And I played an adult soccer league, and I got a little too hard up there.
Yeah.
Reached out. My leg went one way, the ball went the other way. Pop, pop.
And that was it. And you had a not your garden variety ACL injury, right? I mean, that was.
Tore the ACL completely.
Yeah.
The ALL as well with a bulging fracture, medial lateral meniscus, and then they also did a chondroplasty while they're doing it.
Which definitely makes it more complex. So we could say your road for rehab up until this point has not been all roses, right?
Yeah.
We've had
There's been peaks and valleys,
yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, but we're getting back. We're getting stronger now.
Absolutely.
Today, our big focus has been working on getting that hip strength capacity up on the affected side. We got to work on getting that quad a little bit stronger, right? So today we want to focus on getting a little more hamstring work, and then towards the end we'll kind of get into some quadricep work, and we wanted to retest, make sure that we're able to load up.
That's my favorite thing about here. That testing that you guys have now. It's pretty cutting edge. Because typically you go to a physical therapist and they measure, strength side by side. Yeah, it's a little bit weaker.
Yeah.
We know, okay, when I do a squat or a first lunge, I have 72% weakness compared to the other legs. I know exactly what to work on versus just, it's a little weaker, we think,
Yeah, exactly. It's a very subjective way of looking at things, right? Like when we're squatting, it's like, I think we're kind of off shifting, but to what degree and what point of the movement is that happening, right? It allows us to really objectify, our findings, and it helps us, with exercise prescription and rehab process to expedite things a little bit more. So yeah, we're really loving that.
Yeah, 100%. It's figuring out exactly what the problem is.
Yep. All right, don't get too cold. Let's hit this one. Well, tell us about your background. I know you're a Boston College guy, which undergrad days, which as a Syracuse guy, I'm not on board with it.
Yeah, we just dominate you guys all the time.
Yeah, I kind of miss the old Big East days, when it was more Syracuse dominance. But tell us about your time, at Boston College a little bit, and then leading up to going away for your grad work too, man.
Yeah, I love my 4 years at DC. Had a good time, learned a lot. Took all my pre-chiropractic courses, all medical courses, chemistry. A lot of fun with organic chemistry as well.
You had to take organic chemistry.
Yeah.
It's going back. So my worst grade ever in college was just not even organic chemistry. It was chemistry, and I got a C in that class. So kind of upsetting. How'd you do in organic?
It's very useful for your field, right?
Obviously, yeah. On the cellular level, I can tell you what's happening at the moment, right? Not it.
I kind of like chemistry. I like math, so it kind of worked.
Yeah, my least favorite things, for sure. And then your grad work you did in Iowa.
Yeah, beautiful
right?
state of Iowa.
Which we have a team member here that's also from Iowa.
Yeah.
behind the camera.
And my wife's from Iowa too.
Yeah, that's right. You met Pam up in Iowa?
Yeah, that man up in chiropractic school in her class.
She's multifaceted,
Yeah.
like
A lot smarter than I am.
professional, right?
Yeah, she got out of the chiropractic field a little early on, and she's a nurse anesthetist now.
Yep.
She knocks people out, so kind of the other side of things.
Yes, we appreciate that on her level too. And then leading up to now, I mean, so North Brunswick, Chiro, crazy, man. How many years in business?
This will be our 17th year.
I thought, yeah, I was talking with your brother
Yeah.
today about that, and I thought it was 17, which is like an amazing accomplishment in and of itself to like be at that level, and now you're taking another big jump with your new space coming on. Tell us like time frame, when's all this going down?
So we're doubling our space. We're going from like 1,500 square feet to about 3,000, and we're building a building in Brunswick Forest. It'll be 10,000 square feet. So we're trying to find like-minded medical individuals to be complementary to us for the other units. And we're looking to add some more services. One of the things I'm excited about is Shockwave, Focus Shockwave.
Yeah, the Shockwave, I mean, we've talked about it, you've experienced it. I know it's like the big thing in the physical therapy world too. Honestly, I don't know enough about it. What's kind of involved, or what's like the focus with getting Shockwave treatment?
Yeah, so I mean, it's been in Europe for a while now, and they've kind of increased the technology quite a bit lately. But in a nutshell, it's basically the same technology that was used to like break up kidney stones.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And they kind of reworked it, and it's great for chronic injuries, which is really tough. And I'm sure your field as well as mine.
Yeah.
There's chronic injury that's set in for years, and it takes a while to get it calmed down. So this is basically technology that goes in deep. I think it goes about 8 centimeters. And can break up that old scar tissue and rework it.
So that's interesting. So it's actually breaking things up, because we know like when we're using scraping, I know you do the Groston technique, we do like this instrument assisted stuff, or if you're doing cupping.
Yeah.
You know, the research was going back to a lot of those methods are not actually like breaking up scar tissue like we thought you were.
You could
right?
get some pain relief with it, but you're not getting actually down into the muscle.
Exactly, right? It's like more of that nervous system effect where you're just inhibiting tension of muscles. But that's the interesting thing about Shockwave, where we know physiologically we're changing that scar tissue, muscle tissue, right, tendon for healing. So definitely with what you've been dealing with, that outer, you still get a lot of outer knee discomfort. We've had a tough time getting back to running still. We're still dealing with, trying to build up strength capacity on that quad. That sounds like it could be a benefit to get you back to some of our activities a little sooner, right?
Yeah, pretty much all those like chronic injuries type of things that are kind of get set in. I had a patient, this is what first set me onto it. A year or two ago, I had a patient come in with bilateral plantar fasciitis for 2 years. He did everything under the sun, ultrasound, VT, Chiro, all this. He got just temporarily. I sent him to a medical doctor in town that had this Shockwave device, and literally 3 treatments, he was 85% better, and he had no improvement in 2 years. So it was pretty cool. So that sold me on it. I looked further into it.
Yeah, I've been hearing results like that for a lot of people. I mean, if you came here for PT,
of course, different story. It's all about where you go.
But that's okay. So I mean, that treatment is something you're going to be bringing.
Yeah, to the new space.
Do you have it now, or that's something?
No. Something hopefully at the end of the year we'll be going to a new space. We'll probably bringing in other things like red light therapy bed, and other type of wellness services, maybe even cryo chamber. We're looking into. We'll have space.
Total recovery, right?
Yeah,
for
exactly.
More of your output.
Everything under one roof. That's what we can do for people to get them back in the game, get them back, back to playing pickleball, golf. That's a big thing in my community of Leland, because it's a little older, but very, very active. Older.
Super. So like what you were talking about with our force decks, we wanted to go back and test a little bit today. And what we found, I mean, if I'm looking back at the data, last time we just did your body weight squat testing, we were like 26% shading to leaning into that left side, right? So, and we identified we still have a lot of quad strengthening we have to work on here, lateral hip strength. After significant surgery like this, ACL, that's very common. A lot of folks start to think like, oh, I just gotta get the quad strong, and we forget like it's gonna affect up the chain, right? Getting back to running. So tell me, like that's been kind of a
Yeah, it's
struggle.
frustrating. Yeah, it's definitely frustrating. I'm pretty impatient with my injuries. I want to be ACL tear. I want to be back in 2 weeks. But
Yeah, sprinting again. It's to get back out on the field.
Yeah. You know, you see these professional athletes, they get back in 9 months. So I'm like, oh, I'm basically a professional athlete. But, you know, we know that we're different. You know, there are these peak athletes.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's going to be a lot longer for the lay person, basically.
I think that's a good way to, especially like how significant your injury was. Like we said, that was not garden variety ACL tear. This is a complex injury, complex surgery, and we need to make sure we're not like time based on ACL is our big thing, right? And that's where it's important, like actually doing testing before we start moving along the phase of rehab.
So good before I go back out and hurt myself.
Well, exactly, yeah. So we, years ago, you used to see some athletes coming back 6 months. And now all the research and the data that we're getting out of it, we know that's going to leave you at increased risk of injury. Things like having your hamstring and quad strength capacity being in line, right, to not set you up for potential re-injury. And a lot of people just aren't sport ready after even 9 months. We see in the NFL now, a lot of these guys are taking a full year to get back on the field. And for you, you're wanting to get back to playing soccer, right?
Yeah, it's important for me because if I get hurt, I'm out of work, and that's a major problem for me.
Yeah.
Last time, luckily, we had 3 chiropractors in the office, so they really picked it up for me while I was out with surgery and rehab initially.
Yeah.
But I don't want to go through that again. And, just be out for a month.
Yeah, it's in the way of what you're trying to achieve too with the new spacing.
Absolutely.
Right? Can't have that. So let's retest today. Let's check that double leg squat.
Okay.
So get our system uploaded. Like we said, you're about 26% more force production through that left side, which is, I would say, significant. We say anything like 9-10% or above is going to be significant. So we'll bring our test up.
You want me to try to load more?
Yeah, I mean, certainly, like, we can give you biofeedback today. I'll have this up so you can kind of see that shift. And what we've been working on through the rehab process with our exercise, it's like purposefully loading that side, right? So if we can, part of that's retraining your brain, your nervous system to focus on the intent of the movement. Yeah, like we should definitely focus on that.
That feedback and proprioception.
So, all right, squat assessment, double leg. Ready for that? All right, get on. We're gonna go ahead and wet.
Does this feel good? Does it hurt?
Is that what are you having pain today with a squat? No. Ready? Yeah. So I want you to go for it. Let's hit 8 reps again. You're really focus on driving into that right foot as we come up. Good. Good. Get us 2 more reps there, Doc. Oh, a lot better this time. That got us down, so now we're about 15%. We'll show, I don't know if we can pick this up, but we were 26%. Now we're at about 15%. Definite improvement there from the last time we tested about a month ago on these. Maybe not even a month ago. And then if we're looking like really good on the concentric, so that concentric phase as you're getting your power, drive it up out of that bottom position, has improved very, very significantly. So now we're only about 7% off.
So the biggest one is what we're going down.
So this, so eccentric, and we can see that improve quite a bit. Actually, on the probably we're focused on it a lot. So now you're shading more towards, as we descend into that, more that eccentric force. You're actually getting 8% more drive, but that's fine because we're working on that right now. And then again, as you come up out of the hole, we're down only a 7% asymmetry versus, I mean, we were up almost over 30% asymmetry off of that. So, and then this is being total peak force output for the entire movement. We're more towards 16% versus, yeah. So significant. I mean, and that's just in a few short weeks on that too. So, awesome stuff. Let's, we'll move over to our other device so we can test out that quadricep strength today too, right? So next, like we talked about, quadricep was a big part of like getting more weight shift through the squat, getting quad strength, capacity, hip strength. So one of the things we certainly want to be testing throughout the rehab process is going to be that quad strength. We found some deficits, certainly left to right. So we want to see if that improved from the last time we tested. So we'll start on the left side today. You're going to do 3 reps, right? Gradually build up into that kick out. We're not going too rapid initially, okay? And then that'll give you feedback on the left side. Good. Good, then rest it. We'll get 2 more there. Good. So let's switch you up. See what we got on that right side today. So while we're on it, what's one of your favorite strength movements that, you know, maybe through the rehab process, what do you enjoy doing?
Well, Dr. Ryan, you told me back in the day that my reverse lunges were hot garbage.
Yeah, that was, I remember all those. I remember bro lifting in the garage, which you could bench press me under the table, and you got some pipes, so I know you love your bicep curls, but, you know, maybe going back to, unfortunately, the injury that we sustained, you know, maybe we should target that lower body. But we're at where we're at, and we're doing great, right? We're back on track. So, all right, let's see what this right side's got. We're going to go to that next side. Same thing. We're going to get 3 tests off of that. Everything we got today. Oh, look at that, Dr. Rizzo. 86. Go 2 more. Good. Do we have any discomfort today on that?
Yeah, pretty good.
Quad's getting strong, man. Look at that. Awesome. Let's rest. See what we got. Oh, big gains. So now we're about 7% off, right? I'll have to go back and pull. We'll go back and pull data, but from our chart there, I have to go back and look on that. But 7%, anything under, again, 10% for us is certainly not as significant as a drop, right? So, yeah, and even with, you know, we talk about rate of force development, like how quickly that peak force output, like that's great, man. 205 pounds per second on the left, 207 pounds per second on the right. Like we're not far off on that. And then again, peak power or peak force, we're up to 104 on the left, 97 pounds of force on the right. So yeah, definitely some gains on the quad. And if we go back, let's just pull up our hub here, which I had pulled up earlier today. So if we go to our knee extension here, and we tested you a little bit differently. We tested at like end range, and then we tested at 45 degrees. But look at that 45 degrees, like we were like 40% off. And now we got it down to 70%. So we know the quad's doing its thing, right? We're gonna work on that hip control that's showing up in the squat assessment. That's huge.
Yeah.
Awesome. So it was awesome to hear more about what North Brunswick Chiropractic has in store for the upcoming year. Just give us a recap of, you know, a time frame when the new space is going to be ready. Tell people about who you serve best, who you like working with best, and maybe some of the new treatments you got coming into North Brunswick coming this year.
Okay. Yeah, so with construction, nobody knows.
Yeah, right.
But it looks like plans are with Leland right now. It looks like we might be breaking ground in March or April.
Love it.
And we'll be moving over to Brunswick Forest between Lowe's Foods and Chipotle.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then as far as population we serve, Leland's got a diverse demographic. Young, older, semi-retired, retired. We definitely see a fair amount of retired and semi-retired individuals, but they're super active. It's a very active community. Golf, pickleball, all those things. And those people come in and they want to get better. They want to get back to doing golf, you know, all the activities. And whether it be those sports or heck, picking up your grandchildren or, you know, playing with, you know, your young kids and things like that. So we want to get them feeling good and doing that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's perfect. We're looking forward to the new space. Yeah. I know I am. And I want to check out this shockwave therapy.
Yeah, right? Yeah. So yeah, we'll bring that in hopefully towards the end of this year. And you know, we talked about it earlier. It should really be good for chronic injuries. Okay. It's not like I think we need to come 3 times a week type of modality. It's, you know, it's a little little bit more spread out. Hopefully, they don't need too many treatments to get the benefits.
Love it. So let our audience know, where can they find more information about services and get updates on the new construction coming into next year?
Yeah, well, our website actually was just fully redone by Allie, one of our front office people. She did a great job, so you can find a lot of the information on treatments there. And you can follow us on social media, on Facebook, it's under North Brunswick Chiropractic in Leland, and on Instagram, I believe it's at Leland Chiro.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I know,
and we post pretty regularly. Sometimes it's silly things like us dancing and doing
the TikTok, I've seen
yeah, we've done a couple things on TikTok too.
Okay, cool. Awesome, man. Well, thanks again for being a part of it today, and we're looking forward to all the big things
Awesome.
North Brunswick Chiro has in the works.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for letting me share our story.